Well, hello, van life family and traveling family, and anybody else who's just on the road wanting to travel. So I've been bringing you videos about van life, and there, see behind me, I really do have a painting of a van. And telling you and getting all excited myself that the van that I was in the other day, I said, this is going to be mine. And at Jet Chevrolet, they did what they said they were going to do. They held the van. And that's great, right? Well, not so great today. So, let me tell you a story. I actually just straightened out my hair today, and so that's why I'm in kind of an unusual room, shall we say. But anyway, the lighting is good in here. And my TV's on in the other room, so I figured it's probably better to come in here. I even cut my mattress up. I cut the frame of the mattress. That's in the video that I was telling you what I did before, so that I could go ahead and, fit right in that van. So 40 E250 and a medium roof, which was beautiful. So if you look at my other videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. Well, not now. I guess God is saying not now. So did he want to, was it a test to see if I would sell everything and try to, I don't know. Or is it just a delay for the moment? You know, a lot of times you'll be delayed for the moment, but that doesn't mean you're out of the game. And I believe it's probably that, and a little bit of a test to see, because in order to go and minister and do what I wanted to do in a van, well, I have to be serious about it. I can't just be saying, yeah, I'm going to do this thing. Isn't that cool? And then I don't end up doing much of anything. So let me tell you what happened. Here comes story time. Woohoo. So I wish I could say it was a more joyous story time. Anyway, I went and got the grandkids today, and we said, well, we got to clean out the SUV now. We're going to trade it in for the van. So, very happy to do that, and Jet Chevrolet worked out a great plan for me that, I'd be able to, have the trade in and the $1,000 cash down. And then, after when the house sold, and which would have been about 3 weeks from now, I would have had the extra money and would have paid for the biggest chunk of that, right? Well, no. So I get a text, and then followed up by a phone call to say, did you get my message from my realtor? And I said, no, I've been with the grandkids, which I wasn't, my phone wasn't the top priority at that moment. So she claimed, well, she had said that the other people said, because they have to hire their own, apparently their own inspector. You got to have an inspection done on the house. And so they sent this guy over here on Saturday, and he was all right, but for the most part, I just didn't know. Anyway, I knew that there was something not quite when, showed up. And I didn't know what it was, but I just felt that weird kind of feeling, So, at any rate, he did the inspection for 3 hours. I took off from work because of it and didn't hear anything until this afternoon. And this afternoon, your house is absolutely terrible, is what I was told. The inspection did not pass at all. There are major problems with the house. Like, it made me feel like the house was just going to fall over, Now, I'll tell you something about those statements, but I digress. So let's not go ahead. Yeah, your house, the inspection is horrible. The people backed out of the deal. So, and I had met these people before, and they were the same people that were going to take the house, and one going to take the house, and then we're going to take the house. Now they're not going to take the house. So it's been back and forth like that with them. And so I don't know if the inspection is really true. I've never had any problems since I've been living in this house. I really have not. The roof is only supposed to be maybe 3 to 5 years old, if that. There were repairs done on it before I got in here. Now, granted, there's some aesthetic things, and there's some wood that needs to be replaced on the shed, but not the house itself. The house itself, I believe, is solid. I've worked around it. The kids have worked around it. We pulled weeds. Nothing is bizarre. You know, there's no wires hanging. Windows are not falling out. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, they said it was terrible, terrible, terrible. And that they made it really sound bad anyway. So, okay. So why wouldn't I know this 3 years ago when I moved in? Because there was an inspection done when I moved in. So anyway, all these questions I had and all this disappointment I had because I was going to get the van tomorrow. And the grandkids were all excited and we were just all going to go. And, you know, the guy at the Chevrolet over there, Jet Chevrolet, said, yeah, bring him, you know, the more the merrier. And he's a really nice person. So Cole did everything that he was supposed to do and then some. So if you go to Jet Chevrolet, keep him in mind. It's, where is it? Federal Way. It's the one in Federal Way. Anyway, so I got this bad news today. So I did some investigating later on down the line and found out that many times, it's not always, but many times, if people get kind of cold feet, you know, they're going to get a house, and then they get scared. Or, you know, something, oh, well, maybe we're making a mistake, and they start second-guessing themselves. The easiest way for them to get out of it is to say, your inspection was terrible. And because they have to hire the inspector, they don't have to give you the results. You don't have to see those papers at all. So is it true? Is it not true? You would never know. You wouldn't know if they were lying. You wouldn't know if they were telling you the truth. You wouldn't know nothing. You just wouldn't know nothing. So followed up by that, then I could get my own inspection if I wanted to. And that's quite pricey. And I was going to do it, and then I thought, wait a minute, I need to just breathe. You know, you guys saw me, if you look at my videos, I'm jumping around in the van, you know, and all happy. And I haven't felt like that in quite some time because all I do is go to work, come home, and eat, and watch TV, and take care of the dog or the grandkids. Go to work, come home, take care. You know the rat race, right? The typical rat race. And then I don't sleep good at night, hence the circles under my eyes, because, you know, I've been quite worried about this. And, well, anyway, so that's the truth. And that's what happened today. And found out that that can be an excuse if people don't want to buy it. You know, they get scared and, oh, maybe we won't have the money, or maybe, you know, I don't know what they're thinking. I have no idea. But at any rate, that is a possibility. So now we'll wait and see, you know, who might be interested next and come in and get their inspection. And if they get an inspection and it's good, then we know, right? And it might have been something minor too. I mean, I have realtors that are friends of mine. So it's, you know, it's just that they're not in the state. So I can call like 2 or 3 of them and just discuss, well, what do you think, you know, could have happened? Because there's no leaks in here. There's no problems with the electricity in here. So there's nothing weird, you know. So there's no holes in the house. It's not like, oh yeah, there's a big hole in there. So in the floor or something. None of that. I had it repainted. I've been repainting in the inside all along. This was all brown. Every bit of this was all brown. All these walls were brown. Look over here. This is sort of where I left off. And people didn't care, supposedly. But that was the color in the entire house. It is not that now because I want to make it bright and beautiful. And that's the way it is. It isn't a bad house at all. It's just that it's time for me to move on. And how God's going to do that, you guys, I don't know. I don't know. So, you know, we get really excited and we're all happy and trying to serve the Lord, and then something comes up, right? So, well, something came up. And I have nothing against the people that, you know, if they don't want it, they don't want it. And I'm not going to try to convince you if you don't want it. That isn't right. So, they have their reasons. But at any rate, I have mine for wanting to leave. And so it's a delay. I don't feel that it's you're never going to do this. I think it also gives me more time to keep cleaning, because I was cleaning and staying up till 2 in the morning, you know, going to file cabinets and making sure that the old papers that I didn't need got thrown out, you know, that kind of thing. You know, things you do when you move, right? So, and stuff was supposed to go in storage, and then other things in the van. And I've been working very hard. So, and I'm not saying that to brag on myself like, ooh, I've been working very hard. You know, no. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm doing the best I can with what I have. But it is a little heartbreaking when you set your mind on something and then it just doesn't work out. And it just didn't work out. Now, is this the end of the world? No. Am I going to be telling you the same story 5 years from now? I don't think so. I think what it'll end up being is that we'll be here, and however this ends up, it ends up. You know, how I get out of here is the way I get out of here. So it'll work itself out. It always does. You know, the Lord always has a way of working things out, even though we can't tell what it is. And it is bad news, you know, and kind of scary and all, but he has a way of working things out. And like my one friend pointed out to me, you know, because right now it's beautiful and sunny and nice, right? And she said, but the winter is coming. And you'll have the van, yeah, all insulated and everything, but if you're real cold, you know, and it's like 20 degrees and it's starting to snow or there's ice and, you know, she says, I kind of worry about you. I'd rather you kind of wait maybe till spring. Well, the bottom line is it's not coming down off the market, so it's still up there. And I'm just going to trust in the Lord. But I just want to tell you it was a disappointment. And I did have to get on here and tell y'all because you had seen the opposite a couple days ago. And I am going to be transparent and just tell you what happened. And I truly, from the bottom of my heart, know that this is a good house. It has 3 sheds. You tell me where you're going to go and get something that has 3 sheds. Now, one is granted, it's kind of a sloppy shed, like, you know, it's just a shed, you know what I mean? But then I have one that's totally finished off, like it's a tiny home. Like you literally could put a bed in there and a table and a chair and a TV and go in there and put your porta potty in there and you could live in there. I'm not kidding you. And then the other one that became my workout room, it's still all silver because I left that insulation like that. I liked the idea of it looking different being silver. And it's called the Silver Star Gym. So that was all a silver business. However, you know, maybe you never know, people could come in and say, well, I want the walls to be all finished off, you know, and they're not. So let's not take it. And the walls aren't finished off in the old sloppy, what I call a sloppy shed. They put insulation there, but did not put the walls up. And didn't put something over it. You know, so maybe that's something for me to do and just make it look neater. But it's not supposed to look glamorous because that one is just like we would store wood, tools, you know, stuff like that. But the other 2, yeah, my grandson goes in the one that's the gym and he's like, can I just stay in here? I mean, the way I've got it fixed up, the kids like it, right? So that's what happened. It's got a carport, 2-car car, because my trailer's in the carport with my car. So it's the home, the square footage is good. It's got a solid foundation. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, believe that there is nothing radically wrong with this. I don't have flickering lights. I don't have lights that just poof, you know, shut off, or things that shut off. None of that stuff. Now, I did have that one house. When I was growing up, that happened a lot. And it wasn't our house. We were renting, you know, when I was a kid. So I was up to my parents, but I don't think anything was ever done. Just that it would happen. It does not happen in this house. There is no leakage from the roof or the ceiling. Now, there are stains, unfortunately. They must have caught it in time because there's no mold whatsoever. But you could tell that there was a water stain there at one time. And it's just in a corner. It might be in a corner, not in here in this room, but I noticed like in this back bedroom I saw, it's a small stain. It's not like, oh, the whole wall, you know. It's maybe no bigger than my fist, you know, this part of my fist. And my fist isn't that big. So I think what it is they saw that and they replaced the roof because it's supposed to be a relatively new roof. So that's what's going on. There will be no van right now. However, I still have the trailer. I'm getting money together to try to pay that off. And once we get to that point, then the trailer's paid off. I can either sell it at that point or I can keep it and pull it with the Mazda. So I'm not any worse off than what I was. In other words, I have, you know, the Mazda, which is good for pulling the trailer. It really is, because the trailer is lightweight. I still, you know, can sleep in the trailer. I still can eat in the trailer. But I am going to figure out a way to put the porta potty in the trailer, because I cannot get up in the middle of the night and try to kneel and, you know, do the shiwi thing. Sorry, girls. I can't do a lot of you can. I can't. So I'm going to find a way. That's the only thing I want to fix in there. I'm comfortable in there. It's so quiet in there. Now, in the winter, did it get cold in there? Yes. Because, see, that thing is not insulated. So teardrops usually are, well, that kind anyway. It's just a shell. It's like a, you know, like a half a circle. And no, it's not, you know. So I have my heater that I bring along, and my, you know, you've seen, if you look at my previous videos, you'll know. But I still have my trailer anyway. And I still have my SUV. So one pulls the other. And it's not bad. It really isn't. I can do it. I can drive it that way, no problem. So now how we do something for van life and join y'all and with an actual van, right now, me as a human being, I don't see a way. Right now, looking at it from what just happened today, I'll be like, well, that's the end of that. But it's never the end of that. God's not done. He's going to do what he wants to do and what he needs to do. We're not putting him in a box. I pray that it's not much longer that this goes. And if it doesn't go in the winter, let it then go in the spring, when it's starting to get warm and nice. And then I can rebuild it the way I want to rebuild it. I will have had time to get rid of things, and it'll be fine. So maybe it was just a little too, you know, like I'm speeding it up too much this time. And God said, wait, slow your roll. Could be that too. So I don't know, but he always has the last say, and he should have the only say, because he knows what he's doing. So even though I'm disappointed, and this is my lesson for you as well, is even if we get, I'm tired, so my words are slurring. I know, I'm just tired. I didn't sleep much last night, and I've been going all day. So anyway, but even though things get tough, they used to say when times get tough, the tough get going. I don't know so much about that, but maybe how about the tough lean on the Lord? You know, when the times get tough, the tough lean on the Lord. So, because, I mean, this just happened. Still, you know, makes you feel still a little bit like you're in shock. Like, why did this happen? But it happened. And let God get the glory out of this, because he's the one that knows when. He knows the perfect timing. He knows how. He will clear that path for you so that you can get through. Right? So it's up to him, not up to me. And I know that I have to trust in him. You know, if I try trusting in everybody I met, everybody has a different opinion, I'd be spinning around circles anyway. So best to trust in the Lord. So that's a big lesson out of this. So you guys, if you're going through something that's difficult right now and you're kind of sad or you're depressed or whatever it may be, anxious, know that the Lord, your God, is Lord of all, and he will make sure to help you. I'll get through this. And then I'll be laughing about it someday. Remember when we had so many problems trying to sell that house? Everybody thought it wasn't, you know, falling down, and there was not a single thing wrong with it, and it's neat and it's clean, and because I wouldn't have it any other way. So right now there's just stuff around because I was trying to figure out how to pack it and how to take it. So, but overall, this is a very good house. So whoever gets this is not going to have to worry about fixing it or getting on a big tall ladder. And nope, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just get over here and look at everything and you're like, oh, good, you know, it just looks good. So I just had to get on here and tell you what's happening because I just did not want to mislead anybody on here. And I'm thinking, oh, she's getting a van, let's watch her. And then you don't, where's the van? And then, no, let's watch her. And then, where's the van? You know, I don't want that. So I'm letting you guys know there most likely will be a van in my future. It just didn't happen to be right now. And like I always tell you guys, you have to wait on the Lord. You have to be in His timing, not your timing, not my timing. You know, so hang in there. If you're having a tough time, really hang in there. Call on the name of Jesus, the most powerful name. Just, Jesus, help me. If you can't think of anything else, Jesus, help me. I really need your help. But you got to be sincere. You know, He can't just be like, come here, I need your help. You know, because, you know, no, none of that business. So if you're struggling with anything, ask the Lord. He will help you. He's going to get you through it just like He's going to get me through it. And I bet you there's going to be a testimony out of this in the end. If there's a test, there'll be a testimony. So with that said, I just wanted to give you that update. I know it's 21 minutes. Don't want to keep you much longer. So I can only make half a heart. So aloha nui loa, thank you much. Or that's actually love you much. And then mahalo nui loa, thank you so much for being here, for listening. Say a prayer for me, would you? So if you're, especially if you're a prayer person, definitely, not that I don't want prayers from y'all, just getting, hey Lord, please help her. She seems to be upset. End of story, right? You don't have to go on and on. Right? So you don't have to be holier than thou, as they say, because we all make mistakes. No big deal. At any rate, say a prayer for me. I am struggling. You know, then you start to doubt yourself. Did I hear the Lord right? Maybe I wasn't supposed to do whatever. You can't, don't second guess yourself. It is what it is. You did what you did. Move on. The point is, what are you going to do after? Because you got to move on. How are you going to do that? And what's the best possible way to do that? So, I had to get on here and just let you know. Just let you know. So, either you'll see me in the next video, or my dog, or my car, or whatever, or my trailer. I will definitely keep you all posted because, like I said, this was kind of unusual for me. Every time people have come to see the house, either they want it or they don't. And if they want it, they go all the way through with it when I've dealt with people with housing. So, and they've been buying my stuff in my house. So, oh, look, I could not have been wiggling and jiggling the whole time. It's right there. So, just say a prayer that I get over this quickly and that everything's going to be all right. And we'll trust in the Lord, really. Do the same. I know it's not easy. I know we get nervous and we worry and things. Like I said, I kind of get some of those symptoms of the, you know, like when you have kind of an anxiety thing, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better. So hang in there. You hang in there and I'll hang in there. How's that? And then when we get to that next vehicle and everything, all the, you know, T's are crossed, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, I'll let you know. I'll let you know when it gets to be there. This just wasn't the right time. So I'm going to move on and go to bed because I'm tired. That's what I actually came in here to do. And so I thought, oh, I forgot to tell everybody. So I'm telling you all now. You don't be afraid to share it out. I'm not going to upset with you if you share it out. I mean, there is a good lesson in this. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. Because if you try to do it your way, you're going to mess up anyway. So am I. So how about we just trust God and He knows what He's doing and we'll let Him do it, right? All right, you guys. Wherever you are, I hope you're resting and having it. If it's daytime, I hope you're having a great day. If it's nighttime for you, then I hope you're really resting. And if you're neither, you're just kind of like up, like a night owl like me, hoo-hoo, then don't stay up too late. Otherwise, you'll be so tired. Me too. All right. Listen, guys, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and watch some of the other ones. There's plenty of shorts on there if you don't want to watch a long one, and just kind of check it out. All right, I'm going to get a move on here because it's just that time. And besides, the dog's waiting for me. She's laying there looking at me like, are you done yet? So I better mind my manners, huh? And listen to her. So anyway, I will definitely be talking to you in the next video. Bye for now. Say a little prayer. Thank you.